Hey everybody, greetings. It's Friday, April 27th. Another warm week for sure here. In northern Nevada we did have a little bit of rain earlier in the week, which amounted to basically nothing. So yeah, it's been kind of warm. We're out in the garage tonight. We got the fans on. Got the door shut actually. It seems to be a little bit cooler in here if we keep the door shut. Keep it closed up. I think tonight what we're going to do is we're going to put the cylinder heads on our Subaru engine, our EA81, and we'll put the valve train together and valve covers, and we'll start putting some other stuff. At this point, I haven't yet found a suitable donor car for our fuel injection conversion and 5-speed conversion as well. And so what we're going to do for now is I'm going to reassemble the car with the original components, with carburetor stuff. I really want to get the engine back in the car, get it running, and we have all that stuff. And so for now I'm going to put it together that way while we continue to look for, you know, the parts that we need to convert it to what we want it to be. So we'll have that. Tomorrow, Saturday morning, we're going to be going and picking up a new little project. Not going to say any more about it. We'll take the camera along tomorrow as we pick it up. It's something I'm kind of excited about. A little car that, yeah, I like them. And you'll see what we get when we get there. So we'd like to get our Subaru engine in and get this kind of buttoned up as far as this part of it, make it a running driving car again. And because we're going to the new one that's coming in, I'm going to want to kind of get right on. I'd like to sell the little Mazda that I've been driving around, sell that, and the new one that we're going to go get tomorrow is going to basically be my driver car. So I want to get on that and get that going. Not too bad. We just have to do some reassembly to it and so forth. So that'll be coming up. But meanwhile this week, we have had a little bit of mail here. So a couple things to show you. This package here comes from Louisiana, our friends down south. And that would be Stone Furball 1. Bill down there sent us a sticker, and thank you very much. Always broke garage, you know, always broke in the garage. We know that feeling. Sometimes that's the way it is. Nice sticker, really appreciate it. We're going to put this with our collection, and we'll get still haven't figured out exactly what I want to put up here on the wall to put stickers up. So for now, like I say, I'm just kind of gathering them, and we'll get them up when we figure out what we're going to do it. But Bill, thank you very much. It's appreciated. Always good to hear from Bill. If you haven't checked out Bill's channel, like I say, Stone Furball 1. He's working on a Nova project down there. He's got a bunch of old Chevy pickups that he's always doing something with. Just a good guy, you know. So if you get a chance, if you haven't checked him out, just stop by his channel, say hi, and give it a look. So we got that from Bill, and we got a little bit more mail this week. Once again, let's see what we get here. This is coming to us from Pennsylvania. And here we go, Milrick77. We've got the boobies. Okay, who doesn't like boobies? Cool sticker for sure. Rich out there, Milrick77, thanks a lot. We really appreciate it. Very cool sticker. We definitely putting this up when we figure out what we're going to do as well, like Bill's. Milrick77, if you haven't checked out that channel, I mean, that's a must go to. You know, he's a young guy. He stay-at-home dad, and he does, you know, some interesting work in his garage. Very talented young man. He does some very good work. A real good example of the type of work that you can do at home in your garage. Check him out. That's Milrick77. He's a good guy. He's really entertaining. A little bit of a MacGyver at times with different things. Comes up with interesting ways to fix stuff, and he does some really nice body work. So check out Milrick77. You know, stop by, say hi, and check out some of his videos. You won't be disappointed. Okay, and also on the sticker front, the Time to Tinker stickers have been finalized in design. They are being done, and they'll be coming along pretty quick. So all you guys that have sent me some stickers, as soon as we get them, they'll be going right back out to you, and I'll be contacting some of you other guys, get some addresses, and we'll get some stickers out to you. So, right now, I guess we'll get you guys up on the stand. We'll put the cylinder heads on our Subaru engine and move along. Okay, so here we have our Subaru engine. This would be your number 3 and number 1 cylinder, which would be on the passenger side in the car. And first thing we want to do, make sure everything's clean. All this has already been cleaned, but it has been sitting for a little bit, and sometimes you get some stuff on there. Want to make sure that's all cleaned off. Cylinders are clean. Once again, as always, this is the way that I do it. Not necessarily saying that other ways are wrong, or other ways aren't better than the way I do it, but this is the way I do it. So take that for what it's worth, as always, and we'll move on. You'll notice I've rotated our crankshaft to put our pistons in what I like to call a neutral position. They're both, one's going down, one's coming up, but they're kind of at the same point back in the bore. The reason I do that is as we put this together, it gives us some more of a slight movement on our valves when we put them in, because we're going to have to put the rocker arm assembly and the push rods in kind of simultaneously here. So that'll kind of give us a small amount of valve movement on there, rather than having, you know, one cylinder where you're opening the valves all the way and so forth. So that's why we do that. So we've cleaned that up, and we've cleaned our cylinder head as well. We got that nice and clean, ready to go. Okay, the gaskets that we're using, of course, from our, you know, Ishini gasket kit that I like to talk about so much, are actually, I hope the camera is picking this up, if you look right here, that's the Fuji Heavy Industries symbol. These are OEM head gaskets, graphite impregnated, work very well. This is the way you want to put them on. You don't want to put them on like that. You want to put them so you can see that logo that I just pointed out and read the lettering and so forth on it. Okay? So they'll just kind of go on like so. There's a dowel here and a dowel here, and then they fit over your studs. Okay? Then take our cylinder head, and we'll slide our cylinder head right on the studs, right back onto the dowels. Now, what we'll do is we'll take a little bit of clean oil, and I'm going to stress here, just a little bit, just a touch. That's all we want. Just a little bit of clean oil on the threads, and a little bit of clean oil on the back of the washer that goes under the nuts. It goes here. We're going to push it back like that. We'll thread one on, just finger tight. That'll hold us in place. Here, here, and here. So just a little bit of oil. We don't need a lot. All the oil is doing on the back of these washers is it'll, as we go, they may spin a little bit under the nuts, and a little bit of oil will keep them from galling on the aluminum. Very rare that it does happen, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. So make sure we get all those on. There. Like so. We're taking a little bit of oil on threads. And there we go. Okay. So it's kind of good to see that some of our friends around the country have started to get a little bit of rain, a little bit of relief for the very, very dry, hot and dry summer that we've been having. So glad to see that. I don't know if it's going to be enough to help any of the crops or anything anywhere, but nonetheless, a little bit of rain is not a bad thing. Okay, so we get two more here. We'll get all of our nuts on. Finger tight. Actually, I kind of mixed them up. Even after cleaning them, there's 3 nuts that are actually really nice, and then the rest are, you know, they're clean, but they're clearly used. The clean ones are the ones that were inside the engine, and I just try to put them back there. I don't think it actually makes any difference, but I don't know, just kind of the way that, way I've always done it. I've never had one of these come back on me, so must be some valid point to it. Okay, so next up we're going to get our push rods. All right, and here's our push rods. I've already installed 3 of them here, here, and here. Just kept this one out just to kind of show you what we got here. Push rod is hollow. Very important to check and make sure that the passage in the center that runs down the center of the push rod is free and clear and open. Oil needs to flow through there, and it needs to be very free. So just check all your push rods, make sure there's nothing blocking them on the inside. And we're going to put those in. We've got our light, see, and make sure that they're properly seated where they need to be. Got all very good. And we're good on all those. Once again, the push rods are all kind of at about the same with our somewhat neutral angle. Now we take our rocker assembly right here. We're going to put that on, and once again we're going to put a little bit of oil on our threads. Not a lot, just a touch. And then we'll start in here, like so. Turn all of our rocker cups up. And then what we have to do, these got a pretty long thread on them, so we can just start those by a few threads. Okay. Get our push rods into the cups. Sometimes it's somewhat of a challenge to get them all on, being that they go in simultaneously. But, you know, challenges are made to overcome. Now, we just kind of got them all started. They're all in the cups of the rocker arms. We'll take one more check here to make sure that we haven't slipped out on the inside, which of course we have on this one. Okay, that one's in. That one's in where it needs to be. That one's in, so those two are good. That one stayed. And that one stayed. Okay. So that's good. We'll hand tighten our bolts down. Okay. So that will hold everything in place for us. I'm going to go. I'm going to check through my special tools. Everything is very accessible with the exception of this nut right here. It's at this weird angle, so we're going to need to do a little something with that. There's a special socket that does that. I'm not sure if I actually have that socket or not. Let me take a look and see if I find it, and if not, we're going to have to go about this a different way. Hold on just a second. Okay. Looking through our stuff, we do have the socket. It's Subaru number 499987200, and that's what it looks like. Cylinder head socket for these, and what that's for is you see your rocker shaft here. Once it's on, you can't take a regular socket and go on this. So what it does is it lets you go in like so. So that's pretty cool. We have that. I kind of thought I did, but I wasn't 100% sure. You know, because I haven't actually done any heads in a while. But one of the things that I pretty much always did, because I actually work flat rate, is I purchased all my own special tools. That you use them all the time, because you get into a busy shop and a lot of times you got a guy, you know, using a tool and you need it too. And like I say, when you're working rate, you can't afford to wait for that. So I actually do have a lot of special tools for these that I own, that I've purchased over the years. And they do come in handy, such as the case in this. So there's a specific pattern to tighten the cylinder head bolts. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 fasteners here, and they'll tighten in 3 steps. The first step we're going to go to is 22 foot-pounds. So go in there. There's that. .22 is not very much. It's just kind of your initial torque setting. Okay, there's all of them at 22. Now for our second step, what we're going to do is go to 43 foot-pounds in the same sequence. Okay, in our third sequence, we're going to go to 47 foot-pounds, and this will be our final. And as you notice, it's kind of rocking a little bit as we're kind of doing this, so I think we need to kind of come up with something here. I'm going to put a little brace under the front of this to stop it from rocking. I'd hate to tip it over and have it come off the bench. That would suck. What do we got here? That's just about perfect. Okay. So, our third and final torque sequence, 47 foot-pounds. Oops. Guess that wasn't as great as I thought. Well, we'll do it this way. Not a lot of difference between 43 and 47. So a lot of them, it seems like you don't even hardly move it. And there we go. Okay, that cylinder head is installed and torqued properly. What we can do now is take it for a little roll around, make sure our valve action is good. There we go. Good movement on all four valves. As you're watching that. Okay. Let's see, and as we wash our valves, our exhaust valve is opening, going back to up. We're watching on our marks on our flywheel. Okay, that would be top dead center, number one cylinder right there. So, there you have it. Cylinder head is installed, the valves are on. let's talk a little bit about our rocker arms and valves and push rods. When we put our rocker cover on here, we're going to put it on with just a gasket and no other sealer or anything. We're going to basically put it on without any adhesive to here. And the reason for that is I'm more than likely, after I get the car started, I'm going to have to adjust the valves. Sometimes you have to, sometimes you don't, with the hydraulic lash adjusters that these have in them. The earlier models of this, you'll notice that there's a sticker here on the cover that says don't adjust valve clearances. This is the same valve cover that was used on the earlier cars that had solid lifters that you did have to adjust the valves. This one here is a later model, 1988, and you don't have to because you got the hydraulic lifters. But these rocker arms are all adjustable. You see the little nuts and the tabs here. And how you do that is you bring it up to there's a point, I forget exactly where it is in rotation, but you can watch your valves. You rotate your engine around until this intake valve is open, and it's a neutral point for these three, and then it's exactly opposite on the other side. And with the valve open, what you want to do to adjust it is you want to loosen this lock nut. You want to crank down on the adjuster until the valve, or where the valve's closed, I'm sorry. You want to crank down on the adjuster until the valve opens. You want to back it off until the valve is just closed. And then you back off your adjusting screw another 1.5 turns and lock it down. I'm not going to do that right now for a couple of different reasons. Number one, all these parts are basically reused with the exception of our valves. Our valves have been changed, and that's why I say I may very well have to adjust these. I mic'd the new valves versus the old valves, and they mic'd exactly the same. There may be a minuscule difference that would change, but the hydraulics of the lash adjuster will compensate for that. So these are all basically the factory settings where they were. We're going to leave them there and start the car up and get hydraulic pressure once again in our lifters. They've been sitting long enough where they've bled down a little bit, and they're not, you know, they don't have as much pack to them as they will once they get, you know, some fresh oil and some pressure to them. So we're going to start it this way and see how it is. If we have to adjust them, like I say, the covers are not going to be on too big a deal. We'll just pop them off. It's very easy to do this in the car, and we'll just do it that way. Okay, so now I'm going to off camera, I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the other side and get the other head on, and then we'll come back and put our rocker covers on. Alright, our cylinder head is on the other side. Valves are all assembled, so we're basically done with that part. Now we'll put our rocker covers on, and like I say, it's a good thick cork gasket that comes in the factory kits. We're going to put that on without any sealant or anything, in case, you know, we have to take this back off and adjust the valves. There's 2 bolts that hold them on, and make sure you put new seals on the bolts when you install them. So that's pretty much everything technical, if you will, what I consider technical anyways. I've got to put the heater hose pipe on, alternator brackets, things like that. Then I can put the intake manifold on, and that's basically it. It's pretty much ready to go in the car. The clutch and flywheel's all on. Put that on before, so Motor mounts have to go on once I lift it up off the bench. And that's pretty much coming to the end of this here. Which is good, because like I say, we've got another little deal coming up that we're going to get involved with. So, actually pretty excited about. I'm excited enough about it that I pushed this next one in front of our F-150, which we're still going to wait. It's there. Which we're still going to wait and do when we get all this other little stuff caught up and done. So that's about it. I gotta put the distributor in, wires, just all the simple stuff. Distributor on these is very easy. As I finished all this, I now have it in top dead center of #1 cylinder, and I'll drop the distributor in and just drop the wires on, have it pointing towards #1 cylinder. Very simple. So, I guess that's about it for now. We'll do some videoing hopefully tomorrow when we go and pick up our new little prize, and get that up for you guys and move along. If you don't get another chance, remember it's the weekend once again. Really like to see everybody join us on the Mumble chat on Sunday night. Check out the video on WTBM 123's channel on how to get set up for that, or PM 265 Chevy, and he'll get you going. Had a lot of good guys in there the other night. It's pretty cool. So looking forward to that again Sunday, and it's a good time. So that's it for now. Gonna go get something cold to drink and put some more parts on this, and we'll upload this for you. See ya.